Hey, good morning. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. I hope you're well, having a good weekend. It's a Sunday morning and I thought I'd give you a quick update on where we're at. Before we start, some people have mentioned that the YouTubes are too long, the productions are too long. I'm trying to cram as much in as possible and give you as much guidance as possible, but what I think the feedback is, keep it to 2 or 3 minutes. So let's see what the feedback is on that. We'll give it 2 or 3 minutes. If I do a longer one, then during the day, they can use that for educational purposes, but let's just keep it short for the moment, okay? So the markets on Friday came out with the non-farm payrolls, and the non-farm payrolls came out lower than expected. They were expected 570,000 jobs to be created. There were only, I think, 210,000 jobs created, which was a little bit disappointing, but the market took it in its stride. There was a little bit of volatility, and the market began to rise in the States. All the indices look pretty strong, and then at the end of the day, they all closed down. When an index closes down or market closes down after a rally through the day, then that is a bad sign. It's a sign of nervousness. They are extremely concerned about Omicron, the pandemic, and also extremely concerned about Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is the Fed chairman, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, and it looks like he will be accelerating the tapering program. In other words, slowing down and reducing the government stimulus that's been in place for the last year and a half, 2 years because of Corona. That's going to take liquidity or take money out of the market. So they're very concerned about that because they're worried about inflation. Jerome Powell has stated categorically that inflation is here to stay. They're very concerned about it. It's continuously rising and they need to put the brakes on it. Otherwise, you could end up without any management at a full-blown double-digit inflation, which will have a psychological impact on the retail market, on every individual, and on overall the investment market. People do not like, the economy does not like high inflation. So Jerome Powell is the one that looks like he's going to be taking more action in January, maybe December, we're not too sure, in order to reduce inflation. You've got nervousness on that front. You've got nervousness on the pandemic. There's more and more countries are reporting the discovery within their countries of the Omicron, which is obvious because once one person's got it, then 1 million people are going to have it. They say that it's light, then they say they're worried about it, then they say they're worried about the NHS or the health service, etc., etc. So just be aware that's causing a lot of nervousness, and that's mainly it's been expressed in the markets where the markets are closing down at the end of the day. So be aware of that. Going forward, you're going to have the same volatility. Volatility is now the name of the game. The name of the game is volatility. You're going to have sharp up days and sharp down days. So take your profits quickly, etc., etc. If you're looking where to trade, how to trade, or which platform to trade on, contact me. I'd be more than happy to discuss with you, understand what your attitude is to investment, where you want to invest, where you want to trade, what your time frame is, etc., etc. I'll give you some guidance on that. I would like to wish all our Jewish listeners a happy Hanukkah. It's the 7th day of Hanukkah, and tonight you light the last and the 8th night, so that's a happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish listeners. To our non-Jewish listeners, we'll soon be wishing you a Merry Christmas and a happy holidays for everyone. Thank you for listening. You can contact me on Instagram, Valensky Mayor. You can contact me on WhatsApp, contact me on LinkedIn. Remember, when you trade, only trade with a regulated, licensed firm. Don't trade with non-regulated or unlicensed firms because they are likely to be scammers. If you're concerned, then please contact me and I will do some due diligence. I will check into it and ensure that the firm is safe and your money hopefully will be safe in a segregated client account. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. The message today is volatility. Happy Hanukkah. Speak to you soon. Have a good weekend.